In this video, I'll demonstrate where Xrev Transmit settings are stored and the different ways to deploy Xrev Transmit to multiple computers. Before deploying to multiple computers, we recommend installing on one computer first in order to customize and set up the software to suit your office needs. All Xrev Transmit settings are stored in the xrev.sdf SQL compact database file. By default, this file is installed in C drive, program data, Xrev. By default, program data may be a hidden directory. You could also type it directly, the path directly into the Windows Explorer data bar, or you could also use the percentage to navigate to that folder. You can manually share your settings by following this procedure. Close down all instances of Autodesk Revit. Navigate to this file and copy it to a network location that all computers can access and have full read-write privileges to access. If anyone has restricted access, then their Xrev Transmit will not function correctly. Navigate to C drive, program files, the appropriate year version of Xrev that you're setting up. In this case, I'm setting up 2015. And find the xrevwin.exe.config file. Copy this file to that same network location. Because this is in program files, you won't be able to edit it without administrator privileges. So if we copy it to that location first, we'll be able to edit it. You can then open it by double clicking on it, or you can edit it with Notepad. I'm going to use Notepad++. Look for this particular line that says data file path equals, and then in quotation marks is the file path to where the xrev.sdf file can be found. Update this file path to match the network location where you've placed the xrev.sdf file. Then simply save the changes and close down the file. You can then copy that config file back into your Xrev 2015 folder. Note, you will need administrator privileges. I don't need to on this machine because I already have administrator privileges. Now once that's done, if you were then to run Xrev Transmit, it would now be using the xrev.sdf file that's on the network. For additional installs, before starting Revit or Xrev, just copy this file and overwrite the existing one on each workstation. You can make that process a little bit quicker by doing it with a script. An example script can be seen here, so copy settings file using a script. I'm using the xcopy command, yes to automatically overwrite. Then the file path where the network config file can be found, and the new file, the folder directory where it's going to overwrite the other one. And I just simply put a pause after that so I can make sure that it ran successfully. And note, because this script is copying to 2015, it does require administrator privileges to run. So you'd save that off as a batch file or BAT file, and you can do it directly in Notepad. It is possible to use the public properties of the MSI files to specify the database location during installation. Simply substitute the data file path and serial number with your actual data file path and serial number. So that section and that section, and similarly here, if you're using the MSI, that section and the actual serial number. The /Q switch makes the installer run quietly so there is no dialog pop-ups. If you wish to see the dialog, simply remove that switch and the user interface will pop up during installation. The exe file includes the BioPDF writer, whereas the MSI does not. The exe file you'll find you won't be able to use directly with the Revit deployment tools or the Autodesk deployment tools. Instead, what you can do is you can download the MSI for BioPDF directly from the BioPDF website and deploy that separately. Or if you're using a different PDF writer, you could use that instead, provided it's supported. You may also find that you need to include the full path to the MSI file or to the exe file here instead of just placing the actual name of the file. It depends on the context of where this batch file or the script is being initiated, whether that be through SCCM, a simple login script, or some sort of batch file like I'm showing here. You will require administrator privileges to install, again because Xrev Transmit installs for all users. This is the only way the product can be activated for all users. Otherwise, if you activate the software through the user interface, activations are per user. So if another user logged into that machine, they will need to import the serial and activate as well.